Wow, and hey, welcome to SkyTour Livestream on this amazing March 5th, 2022. Everybody's favorite nebula sitting right there. That's the Orion Nebula sitting on the screen now. I want to say hello to Sadarak, Michael Klagus, Genghis is here. Daryl, of course, is with me. How are you doing, Daryl?
I'm good, Mark. You?
Oh, just fine, thank you. Daisy and Zoe are here. Bonnie, Anahata 77, is with us tonight. And Genghis asked a question, and hi, Farba. Genghis asked a question earlier before the stream even started, and he was asking about the Index Catalogue versus the new General Catalogue, the IC Catalog versus the NGC. You'll notice that many of our objects that we'll go to will have an NGC number or an IC number when you actually look them up. Well, IC, of course, as I said, stands for Index Catalog, and the Index Catalog's been around for a long time, and so has the new General Catalog, the NGC Catalog. There's lots and lots of catalogs. In fact, to give you an idea how many catalogs, let's bring up our planetarium, okay, right on the screen here, and let's go and check out some of the catalogs that we can check out here. That are, let me just bring that up again because it went away. All right, so here we go. So now in here, I have the moon up right now, and the moon has to still set. So we started kind of a little early. I also want to make sure you guys understand we have daylight savings time coming up, and that means that we're actually going to lose an hour, and that means we're going to have to start an hour later.
Ooh,
okay.
hiss.
Ooh, hiss. That's right. As Daryl said before we started, he hates daylight savings time, and I don't know anyone that actually likes it, to be honest. Let me show you something here. Let me go to our data. Let's see, is it this guy? Okay, and we look for DSO here, and you'll notice that only a couple of these are the catalogs. We have M for Messier, we have C, all right, that's Caldwell, we want that one. Okay, so we're gonna check that one. Okay, we have NGC, we have IC, which is Index Catalogue. Okay, and this is B, this is Barnard's catalog. This is the catalog of dark nebulae that E.E. Barnard actually did in 1927.
Yep. That's
an amazing catalog that we've often utilized, as you noticed, when we actually go to look for some things. Okay, SH is Sharpless. The Sharpless catalog is a catalog of objects that are, stellar nurseries, things like that we've seen before, tons of these. All right, and then there's a whole bunch of catalogs. We usually go to the LBN and the LDN, which comes next. Okay, the LBN catalog, this is the Bright Nebula catalog, and that's Lynn's, Lynds, Lynn's catalog of Bright Nebula, and we have Lynn's catalog of Dark Nebula, LDN, and that's something that we're also going to use. And if you notice, when we go to the Index Catalog, to Genghis's question, which he asked earlier, that's the Index Catalog of nebulae and clusters of stars. The NGC Catalog, all right, again, similarly, is also going to be an Index Catalog of nebulae and clusters of stars. Now, I don't remember when the NGC came out versus the IC. The IC might have been preceding to the NGC, but I'm not sure. I just know that I used it many times. But these are all catalogs here. You might say, why have so many catalogs? Well, you have to understand history. The Messier catalog came out around before we could actually notice and see dark nebulae. So when the dark nebulae came out, somebody else cataloged the dark nebulae, as in E.E. Barnard. Okay, so it's been sort of a sliding window of discovery and so forth, and different objects. Daryl, if you want to add to that, feel free. I'm going to grab a drink here.
The ARP catalog is cool.
Oh, I don't know Galaxy how many catalog?
Oh, yeah.
ARP is right here, yep.
Yep, and what else do I see in there?
We have SNRs. Are those supernova remnants, I think? Let's see if this is supernova remnants.
Abel's cool.
Yeah, galactic supernova. The Abel catalog as well. That's another catalog of galaxies in addition. So Abel's catalog is great. Abel right here. Yep.
Which one of the peculiar galaxies? ARP?
That's ARP, yeah.
Yeah.
We have Planetary Nebula Catalog here. Okay. You know, and we try to, you know, as astronomers, we try to name things what they're supposed to be. So that's kind of what we're seeing here, right? But anyway, so those are the catalogs we're going to choose tonight. We're only going to choose Caldwell, I almost said integrated circuit, duh. Index Catalogue, Barnard, Sharpless, the Linz Catalog of Bright Nebulae, Linz Catalog of Dark Nebulae, and we'll do ARP because Daryl suggested it. Why not? And that'll be kind of fun. So that's what we're going to look in tonight and use anyway. But when you come out of this, you're going to see a lot more markings on our planetarium screen because we're going to have a lot more objects available to us now. All right, and that's kind of what we're looking at here. All right, so just a little note, we don't have our Starlink up yet out there. I mean, Starlink's there and in operation for the rest of the compound, but it's not in operation for us yet. We're still waiting for our Ethernet adapter that's going to attach the Starlink's Ethernet to our observatory. That's one thing that the Starlink router, the box that connects you to the net, doesn't have, is an Ethernet adapter. It used to have it built in, and they got rid of it and went to only Wi-Fi. Well, Wi-Fi works. In fact, the Wi-Fi out to the building works great, but it's problematic when you have Wi-Fi. We don't want a wireless connection. We want a wired connection. I could probably tell the computer to go grab a wireless connection. This is the possibility that we could use. I'm not sure if I want to do that. But let's see. So right now, it says no Wi-Fi networks found, but that's only if I didn't use the Wi-Fi adapter. I have it shut off. Preserve power any way I can, because don't forget, this observatory is green. Okay, where our power for this, everything you see comes from the sun and from stored energy that's stored during the day. All right, so that's what's going on here. Now, over here in the view, if we pull that out of there, you'll notice that we have the Orion Nebula, and a satellite had just gone through. Let's pull that out. And now we have this beautiful Orion Nebula, and let's just see, to get an idea of what the sky looks like, I like to do a preliminary shot. Let's do a 25-second shot of the Orion Nebula. All right, and I'm going to take out another satellite. We're going to take out, yeah, that was probably Starlink. We're going to take out, our hypered view, or what I call the finder view. And let's go into a stack and see what the image looks like stacked. This will help us figure out the quality of the night. So here comes our first stacked image. All right, that's good. And now let's zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in now and go to 100%. And it won't look good because it's just one image and it's going to kind of be noisy, but I want to see the quality of the stars. Okay, and I can see that the stars are what we call soft focus. We need to get them more down to pinpoints, and that we can do. All right, so what we're going to do first is get out of here, get out of the stack, kill the stack, and then come back here and go back to just 1 second. Now, in exposure. So for those of you who may remember but might be foggy, what we do, this side over there where the cursor is, that's the telescope camera. Okay, this side is the telescope control, and there's the telescope in the building right there. All right, this right here is the telescope control panel and the computer of the telescope. All right, and so that's really cool, and that gives us what we need. That star right there is a perfect focus star, because we're going to take that star right there, get this off of it, while we have some blues playing in the background, and we're going to we might have to increase. Let me find out. Okay, is it the wrong way? I think so. And once I get the focus, I can set the temperature dependence setting, and the focus will follow the temperature, which is a great thing, because if it follows the temperature, it means it's auto-focusing based on temperature. And we can also do autofocus based on the shape of the star to get it down to a good size. We can do that. You'll notice that every now and then the stars go lengthy and have a little line on them. That's because we have some wind going on out there. Our old nemesis, the wind. Okay. So we're at 47,942. This particular focuser has tens of thousands of stops. So we can actually really precisely focus if we want. And it's brand new. Brand new to the astronomy hobby to have this kind of setup. Most people that have telescopes don't have this thing going on. They don't have an autofocusing system like this. I can understand why. It's not cheap, but the bottom line is that it gives us everything we need. Let me just get a good look here. The stars. I want to see. I love my stars. What can I tell you? All right. So far, that looks sort of good. And I actually should have just gone down a little bit here and checked out the trapezium, which is the bright heart of the Orion Nebula. It's the reason that it glows. Okay, and they're overexposed a little bit, which is amazing because it's a 1 second exposure. I'm going to drop the exposure down. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to drop the gain. It's at 300 right now. The gain is like the sensitivity. By dropping it, we can see better what's going on in there. And I can see that our focus is still off a little bit. And I'm going to adjust it slightly, see what happens. Alright, so bear with me while I do this.
I read the other day that the trapezium is actually 6 stars.
Okay.
I guess 2 of them are binaries and
spectroscopic binaries.
I gather they're actually visible with enough aperture, at least. If I ever knew that, I forgot. My poor eyes are so bad anymore. I don't know if I would see them or not.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that your eyes are bad. I just think that maybe you're just not tuned to seeing where they are, and of course they're easy to miss, I would think.
Oh.
Okay, 48.
I used to have eyes like a hawk.
Yeah.
Now I have eyes like a half-blind hawk. I've had lens implant surgery in both eyes, and
you had cataracts?
I did.
Okay.
And living at high altitude and sunlight on snow will do that. Ultraviolet, and I used to do a lot of welding, and that didn't help either. And
the ultraviolet energy.
So I wound up getting cataracts, and I had surgery on both eyes, and the doctor promised all sorts of great things, and it didn't really come true.
Really?
What he didn't warn me about was, what's the word I'm looking for? Having a brain lock here. When there are distortions in your eye.
Oh, stigmatism.
Yes, thank you. Both eyes are astigmatic now.
Yeah.
So I'm like a half-blind hawk now.
Well, that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that.
It's called getting old is what it is.
I guess. Let's just drop this. We have a little wind out there, guys, so it's taking a little longer to get critical focus, so I apologize. have to wait for things to settle down. Okay, at least I know that's not it. Okay. Hey, C&D boy, good to see you. And Izabela, nice to see you as well. Thanks for hiding that guy. I guess that's more of these people that I guess it's a sign of that you're being noticed anyway when somebody starts putting spam on your stream. It's like the new phone book's here, the new phone book's here. I'm somebody now.
That man hates these oil cans.
He hates these cans. That's right. Of course, we're talking about Steve Martin in the movie The Jerk.
Yeah.
Which was a very funny movie.
Waiter, this wine is old. Take it back and bring us some fresh wine.
I beg your pardon, sir? Very funny. Alright, let's now do this again. Let's bring up our gain. The gain over here, this and the exposure are the only two things that we really care about in all this. This is basically our brightness control. It allows us to do enhanced viewing like this. It affects the histogram, so this gives us a better view of things. I call it like a live vision enhanced finder, basically an enhanced view. So I'm going to bring the gain now, which is like the ISO or the speed of the sensor, up. There goes a satellite right through. It's a 1,000 millisecond exposure, meaning 1 second exposure. So in 1 second, that thing went that far. Right? That's how that works. And we're going to go to 300 gain or so. And 300 gain is good for what we're doing tonight. The higher you go, the more noisy the image is. You see some blotching and pixelation here. That settles down. That's not normal. That's just has to do with the fact that we are sitting out there with some wind and our internet is compromised just a little bit. It's a tiny bit slower than it should be. But like I said, we haven't got our Starlink yet, and that's part of the problem. Yeah. Waiter, there are snails on her plate. Yeah, that's right. You can see the wind is blowing it around just a bit. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll try to do some things as well and see what else we can do. So the focus looks pretty good now. Let's bring up our beautiful planetarium here, and let's zoom in a little bit. There's so much to see in Orion, but with the moon out, even though it's only a waxing crescent right now, it does take away some of what we can see. But we'll manage. We'll do all right. Okay. So we're down here now. We're in the Orion Nebula. Okay. Interesting too, Daryl. If you notice, there is an interesting indicator here for Barnard's loop. It's centered right here, which implies that Barnard's loop is its progenitor star, the star that made it, is here, or at least should be here.
Yeah.
You see that? So I don't know if that's true or not. And we wouldn't know one star from the other looking at it this way. We'd have to actually go to the SEDS database or Aladdin, which are these online databases Hey DK, how are you? Alright, so let's come back here. Let's set this up for just a little bit of some photo fun here. Let's see if we can grab a good image of the Running Man Nebula, NGC 1975, and the Orion Nebula, Measure 42. Alright, and so every time you move it, I have to wait about 11 seconds for the guide star to be acquired. The color is not corrected, by the way. So let's go and do this, make this a 30-second shot. We'll take a risk. Alright, and so 30 seconds is off. You'll see the progress bar down below start to build. We're going to remove our hypered finder view and go into a stack, and we're going to have to remove the last stack we did. Okay, because that's an older stack. We'll clear that, and now it's a empty plate, and now we're going to fill it with stars and nebula. This is beautiful. So here we go, and we may have to do color correction and things, so I'll leave this up. What do we got? Okay, a little bit of wind, but we can color correct, and if I color correct, you'll see this red go away, and it'll be a little bit more proper like that. And then we can do a little bit of a stretch, kind of make it look pretty. So that's really cool. Yeah. And it will get better. Like I said, it is a little windy. I might be able to do the same thing by going to like 25 seconds. So why don't we try that? For those that are here that haven't subscribed yet and are just watching and not, participating in the chat, please do subscribe and check it out, because look around. This is just beautiful. We got a beautiful panoply of stuff that we show you every time we do a stream. We have good commentary from myself and from Daryl. We're actually we're astronomers, man. This is what we do. All right, let me clear this because it's got little stars being dragged out. So it's 25 seconds now. Let's see if we can get nice round stars. Okay. Let's see what happens.
Remember I sent you that video by Astro Backyard from a day or two ago where he did M78?
Yes, you did.
I got to wondering about that. I mean, M78 is also known as Casper, the Friendly Ghost Nebula.
Yes.
And I got to wondering, because he talked about what he called the Boogie Man Nebula. And I've never really seen Casper, the Friendly Ghost and all that. Mm-hmm. I got to wondering if maybe our Casper is his Boogie Man.
Ah.
Maybe we can take a look at it later.
Okay. Hello to D. Smith. I see you just got here. Good to see you. No one goes unnoticed unless I'm totally, fixated on something. Of course, this is the Orion Nebula here that we're seeing now. So this is the region we're looking at now. Okay. And I still have streaks, as you can see, because of the wind. So luckily it's only a short exposure. Let's try clearing this and doing it again. I just want to get one good one. I can, we get wind in the desert. It just happens sometimes. Yeah, that's also, the telescope is blowing around. If you look at the telescope up there, you see it's got that big tall barrel. Well, that barrel is like a weather vane. It's getting pushed around by wind. And the wind doesn't have to be very strong. If it's 10 miles an hour, then that's more than enough to do what we're seeing here. And as I'm looking at it, it's telling me that the wind is actually going either north to south or south to north, because that puts it toward us here or away from us, and that's the wind in the building going this way, basically. or that way, something like that. And that'll cause the stuff to actually happen. If it happened in the east-west direction, then the wind will be coming across this way over the top of the building, but it's going this way over the top of the building. All right. It's a very pretty nebula, regardless, isn't it?
It is. It's the prettiest.
And the closest. Unless
Closest?
there's one... Yeah, see how bad these are?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's the closest, and I wonder... Let me try one more time here. 25 seconds. I mean, if the wind lets up for a little bit, then we'll see it. I'll remove the titles here for just a second. Yeah, there we go. Hey, that's not bad. See that? That's not bad. It's got a little bit of little issue, but it's not bad. There's some wind. You can see it's been dragged just a bit to the northeast. Tiny bit. It might get worse as the exposures go on because it is a stack. Let's see what the second one looks like when it comes in. Yeah, it's got little ghost images. So that's what we're going to be stuck with tonight, guys. We're going to be stuck with just views that don't show us perfect star images. But that's okay. It's better than not doing the stream, So I think that's really cool. Yes, as Daryl is pointing out in the chat, he says, we're actually looking near the Celestial Equator right now, so we're just below it right now. And so we're actually we're looking at a region that's gonna have lots and lots of equatorial satellites, as he points out, and that's very true. No doubt about it.
Yeah, they're pretty much non-stop sometimes.
Yeah, and what's weird is
when we're in this part of the sky.
Yeah, what's weird is I remember a time when I didn't have any satellites going through Orion, photographing it all night long. So you say, wow, has that much space junk happened in just that many years? And the answer is yes, but it's not junk. The satellites are another frontier for business and for defense and for communications. So that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, there is a lot of junk up there.
Yeah, it's true. There is a lot of junk up there. This is probably not junk. This is probably an actual satellite that belongs up there. This is just very pretty,
I'm just glad nobody's put up any giant flashing Coca-Cola signs yet.
Oh, you know what? I did see in this, I think this was dead on arrival. Somebody wanted to put up, with solar power being prevalent, somebody wanted to put up giant mirrors in orbit to reflect the sunlight down to the ground to keep it daytime in areas where these big solar farms might be. So they'd have sunlight all night long, in just one little area. I think that's a horrible idea.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. All right, well, we're going to try and go to the Casper the Friendly Ghost here anyway and see if what we can pick up. I mean, it's always worth going to. And
sure.
You'll notice that Barnard's loop, a remnant of an ancient supernova, is going to be curling through here. And you'll see it on the left edge of the image. You're going to see a little bit of this part of the loop right here. And the reason is because we have a view, right? And this will be our view. Okay, we'll see that. And we'll see part of the Barnard's loop in here as well. So we're going to go there. And I'm going to do that now so that you'll see the telescope move a little bit over my head. Okay. And as it does that, let me get rid of this stack here. I'm not going to save this because it's a bad stack. It's not really well done. Guiding can't follow the wind. So, and then we'll go to 1 second shots. Okay. It does make abstract paintings for us. That's what it's doing. Okay. All right, and let's do our hybrid view so we can actually see. It's centering the upper right-hand star in Orion, Bellatrix. And from Bellatrix, it's going to go to Measure 78, or Casper the Friendly Ghost. And you'll see it come in. You'll be a little fuzz. And I see a little fuzz. That's the nebula right there. Alright. That's pretty cool to be able to just drive our telescope, tell it where to go, and it just goes where we say. Okay. So we'll see a little bit of moving around. Let me just move the telescope a little to the right. Actually moving it to the left, but make the image move to the right. Yeah, Daisy and Zoe. 24-hour sunlight? Bad idea. You betcha it's a bad idea. You betcha it's a bad idea. Okay, so we're going to move this up a little bit now. That means we're going to move the telescope south just a tad. And you'll see this, it looks red over here. That's because we're actually seeing part of Barnard's loop. Alright, this color, like I said, is due to moonlight and the moon still being up.
Moonlight?
Yeah, the moon's up now.
Barely. Should be a very thin crescent.
It is. It's a waxing crescent. It's a waxing crescent right now. It's 18%. No, 12%. It's 12% illuminated. All right. But the camera is sensitive to it. All right. So let's see if I can do a quick correction here. Wrong correction. Yeah, just a bit too much. Yeah, it's a little better. What's that? I can't tell what that says. Alright, well, we'll leave that at that for now. It doesn't have any bearing on the final image, though.
Marianne's here from Hawaii.
Whoa. I was trying to do this secretly without telling her. Actually, that's not true. I told her I was going to probably stream. Marianne, if there's a problem, you're going to have to fly back and head out into the desert. Yeah, as if. So what'd you do today, Marianne? We should bring her in if we can get her to get into Skype. Can we add you for a little while, Marianne? Can you say hi or no? Alright, let's, while we're waiting for her to respond. Oh, she says sure. Okay. 1 second, guys. Let's go see if we can add her. Just a second. Alright, I gotta figure out how to do that with this. Skype's always changing. I can't stand what they do. Let's see here. One moment. I wish that I knew what I was doing with this. They changed everything. Let's see here. That ain't right. Wait a minute. I saw something. Yes, I saw something. Okay. looking for... Have to search. Just have to search.
What you looking for?
Marianne. Okay. I found her. All right, we're gonna add her. Let's see if she's there. See if she'll pick up. Okay. And while we're waiting... Oh, she's here. Are you there? Can you hear us?
I'm here.
Whoa. Yes. How about that?
Give me a second here. Trying to put you on speaker, but I can't figure out how.
Oh, well, I had this all figured out. Don't tell her I didn't. Okay. While we're waiting for her to do that, I'm going to set up an exposure here to try and get us an exposure of this. Let's do 25 seconds and see if we can do it. I've been noticing that the image has been a little bit more stable, but we'll find out. Oh, and right as I said that, it stopped doing so. Okay, so we're going to get rid of our hybrid view and go into the stack. Are you with us, Marianne?
I am.
All right.
Hi, Marianne.
Daryl's here. She's still trying to figure it out.
Well, hello, guys.
Yeah, we're streaming, and everybody in the world is listening. The whole world's listening. Thousands and thousands of people all over the world, and they're going, "Who is this?"
That's scary.
Yeah, right.
We just got back from Glass Beach.
Oh,
So
Glass
we're
Beach.
Yes, it's kind of weird. You guys are like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and...
For you, it's 5 o'clock. Or,
Yes,
you
we're
know,
just
so-
about to make dinner.
For those that don't know, I've never been there, but Glass Beach is where there was a lot of actual bottles that were smashed and broken. But over time, the water and sand has weathered them down like in a giant tumbler, and has made them round and beautiful little pieces of glass. I don't know who did that, you know.
Well, it was actually, I guess it was actually a dump at one time. It was I don't know if it's considered the city dump or what, but that's...
Wow.
It's not the same type of sea glass like you find back east where
Right.
it was, I guess it was ships that would put glass over the side.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, there is all kinds of stuff in the beach. We found some really interesting stuff.
Wow.
So Tara really has some really cool stuff.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the other... That's the other person that's with her in Hawaii, by the way, is Tara. So Tara's our creative director, and Marianne's our our project director. But I'm not sure. I mean, you're the project manager. Okay, I'm the whatever I am, and Tara's the creative director.
That's
So
it. Sounds good.
Marianne is Sergeant at Arms, too.
that's very true. She acts as security too. I mean, that's good that the telescope is on protected land. You know. Hey, Vera Lucia Campos from Brazil. How are you? Welcome.
By the way, since I can't see stream right now because I'm talking on the phone, is hello everyone out there. I know PG said hi.
That's cool.
I'm gonna say this wrong, but Anahata.
Yes. That's Bonnie.
And Bonnie, okay, Bonnie and Daisy and Zoe and everybody, thank you for saying hi.
Very cool. And Jessica S. is here too. Hi, Jessica. Yep.
Yes, we're about to make spaghetti for dinner tonight.
Hey, okay.
So
just don't eat past your limit. Oh. That was cheesy. I'm sorry.
Oh, whatever.
No, you're missing a good picture right now.
I know.
That's okay.
What do you got going today? Oh,
What?
very nice.
Oh, I thought you said you couldn't see it.
I just took my the phone away from my ear so I can actually see it.
All right.
I don't know how to go on speaker, so I just kind of looked at it real quick.
Okay. All right.
So observatory's doing okay? Everything went well, it sounds like.
Yes, everything out there seems to be working properly. We don't have our Starlink connection yet. They still have to put the conduit in. So, but they can't really do that, and it's not going to matter until they get the Ethernet adapter from Starlink, which I ordered a couple weeks ago, and we should get it.
Should be soon. It's already, the 5th or 6th of March today. So we will be up and going. So I know that there was some weather in Arizona, but it must be clear now, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I actually looked at the weather for the area where the observatory is, and it's going to be sunny and clear for days and days and days.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the moon when it comes up too. I've been giving some more thought, since Marianne's the person to talk to about this, guys, about the next instrument to put in that building. And I'll share that with you when I can show you the pictures of what I think might work well there. But the idea is to have two telescopes working in unison in the building, so that one can look in a close-up, all right, and one can do this wide field like we have right here. But be doing it all at the same time. All right, that's one possibility. The second possibility is to do another entire observatory, and that will come down to the organization. Once we get our organization fleshed out, I would like to see if we can put one in the southern hemisphere. But we would have to have someone on site to do maintenance and stuff, and so that only works when you have funding, right? So we can't do it like we're doing it now. So we've just got a couple more little things for that 501c3. That's what we're working on right now. Yeah, and I know people are excited about that. Hey, Dean Bostador, how you doing? That's true. I mean, and we're very excited about it, and I know that it's going to open up a lot of doors for us,
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
So, looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
Well, guys, I am
You got
sorry,
dinner.
but I'm in charge of making garlic bread with fresh Parmesan cheese on top. So that's going to be my specialty for the night. Right. So I'm going to go do that.
Okay.
But thank you for bringing me in, and everybody, thanks for being on the stream tonight. This is so exciting, and I will try to watch the stream while I am making the bread, and we're making spaghetti for dinner.
Alrighty. Well, you have a good night, and thank you for hanging out with us for just a few minutes.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. And Daryl, it's great to talk to you, and everybody on chat. I will see you on chat.
There you go. All right, Marianne. Thank you.
Marianne.
Have a good night.
Good night, guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that was very nice. I'm glad you could drop in for a minute. Marianne, with Tara, those two people are the ones who are, if you could say in a word, responsible for what we have out in the desert. Marianne provided the oversight to make sure that everybody was doing the right job, and Tara was basically the project, construction manager. She actually made sure that everything was being built exactly to what I needed to have it made, and that's exactly what it was. So I think that's pretty cool. So anyway, this is coming out nice, actually. We aren't getting a whole lot of wind. We got some, but the bad shots that have the wind in them can get suppressed by more shots that overlay it with better data. So this is Measure 78. This is Casper the Friendly Ghost region. And Measure 78, again, is a dark nebula. And this is an area where, I guess you'd say the building blocks of the universe are made here. And so in this region, we see a lot of this dark dust, and this dust is actually visible down here in these dark concentrated lanes. But then we have this other dust. This is not haze. This is actually real, because if you look, this is the color that's color corrected. So what we see is this brown dust that shows up in the telescope, and with the moon out, that's actually, not bad. I mean, again, it's almost setting, and it's at 12% moon, so it's not a lot. But as it grows, the sky will be harder and harder to pull this sort of detail out for just a few days. But man, this is pretty.
Mark, can we try something?
Sure.
If you wanted to start over with a new image, I don't know if you'd be able to grab this or not. It's a matter of focal length and how wide the field is.
Okay.
Could you try to park M78 there, what we see, the bright part, over at the far right edge of the screen?
Oh, to get the Barnard's loop?
Well, it's what's in Barnard's loop to the left of M78. There's
a
another
cluster.
dark nebula that overlies Barnard's loop there.
Okay. All right, so let's, we won't ruin this shot. Let's see what we've got here. We have stacked 23. So why not? So we can pause it here. All right. And it's paused. And now what we do when I hit save, you'll see a green bar come across the top of the screen. And that green bar tells you that the data file, the raw data, has been saved as an astronomical FITS format. And then this image you see right with your eyes here on the screen. Okay, this is saved exactly as you see it. And, when you say, well, where is it being saved? It's being saved to the server I mentioned earlier at the very beginning. We have a free server you can access to get all these photos minutes after they've been taken. And I will say this, Izabela Melamed in Sofia, Bulgaria, has been kind enough to put the link to our database up. I think she's listening now, and if she doesn't do it, Daryl will do it. But she's also responsible for creating the table of contents for what we do, and she's been just an amazing person that works with us on this. This is fantastic. So, Daryl, we're going to do it. And there she goes, and she got it. Thank you, Izabela. All right, so we're going to clear this because we saved both the raw data and the image as you see it here. All right, so we can clear this, but with the knowledge that it's actually going up to the cloud and will be awaiting you when you go check it out a little bit later. It might actually be up there or starting to go up there now. When we have Starlink running full speed, and then actually, as soon as you take the pictures, they'll be up there in seconds. And that's really cool. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go down to 1 second here, because Daryl would like to do a framed shot of some dark nebula that is in that arc of red that we saw. And so he wants us to put this over here, so we will. Okay, Daryl, let's do that. We're going to move it to the east a little bit, and we're going to put it all the way over. Will that be enough?
I'm not sure, hopefully.
Okay, if it's not, what we'll do is, there you can see Barnard's Loop coming in. We'll just fully go over and get fully involved with Barnard's Loop. So here we'll do this now. Let me just do one more jog over. We'll try that, okay?
That's good.
All right, I want to say hi to Judy McClellan, who just got here. Hi, Judy. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. Very nice to have all of our friends out here with us when we do this. I very much appreciate your when you come out. I know I didn't give you much notice either, and that's because I really wasn't sure I wanted to stream because the winds were borderline. But I figured, you know what? We'll try it. We'll go for it. Because you guys will have a good time no matter what. Right? So we'll do this. Okay. So let's go. Here's that little cluster I was saying is here in Barnard's Loop. Is that little cluster just above the dark nebula? Or is the dark nebula above this?
I believe it's below it.
Okay. Hey, go unhand my Starlink.
Unhand me Starlink.
Alright, so let's go and do a 25-second shot here. Let's see if the winds will support that. 25-second shot. It's underway. We will remove the hypered view and go into a new stack and check it out. I'm so excited. This could be cool. What happens is when the first photo is taken, it's a little bit noisy, all right? But we're stacking. So we have one image, and then when another one is taken, it's aligned on top of the previous and stacked like a sandwich. And that goes and goes and goes and goes. And what that does is the data that's supposed to be there just gets stronger, okay? And the data that's not supposed to be there, like noise, gets averaged out, all right? But even dark nebula, that's data that's supposed to be there. So you're going to get dark nebula, dark nebula, dark nebula. And that's going to get more and more pronounced. Is it in here, Daryl? Is this the one you're looking at? This here?
I think so.
Okay. Famous last words. Is that it? I think so.
Well, let it run a few, and we'll see if that builds up any.
It's going to build up. We'll see what it does. Oh, yeah. So this is Barnard's Loop. What's interesting about it is you've seen us do the California Nebula. Similar timing, and it comes out just a little brighter than this. But the California Nebula is isolated, and it's got a little bit more density to it than Barnard's Loop. So the California Nebula shows brighter overall, but this is just as beautiful. And we have two clusters here of stars. These are what are called open clusters. If they're really compact and in like a glob or globe, then it would be a globular cluster. And those have 30, 40, 50, 60 or more thousand stars. These clusters have maybe 100 stars on average, up and down. Sometimes less than 50, sometimes more than 500. But it's still an open cluster. And we designate that with OC. Right? All right. So we'll stack it and see what we get. I do see a dark nebula developing here.
Yeah.
I do see that. And we're not on M78 anymore, so I'm going to get rid of that. What we are is we're on M78 the eastern side. Okay. And that's dark dust with reflection nebula. That's an RF. And emission nebula, which is what I'd say diffuse. A diffuse nebula is what we're seeing with the left side with Barnard's Loop. Okay. So this is what we are. It's a mouthful, but it's what we're looking at. Eastern side of Measure 78 with Barnard's Loop. Dark dust with RF, reflection nebula. Sorry, that was supposed to be RN. I don't know why I said RF. There we go. And diffuse nebula.
Izabela asked a question. I suppose there's really nothing stopping you from... I mean, if you saved the last image when we were directly on M78,
yeah,
there wouldn't be anything stopping you from mosaicing this if it was worthwhile, would it?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I did 23 of the last one, and I've done 9 so far of this one. So we'll wait for it to develop a little bit, and then we can actually just do 2-frame mosaics, if you like, which might be pretty interesting.
Okay.
Because all we did was go east with this. We didn't actually go up or down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of fun.
Okay.
Name of the star on the left, Farva asks. Which one is that? We have a
That's
few.
a lot of stars.
I mean, this is a reflection nebula over here that we just took an image of. This is a star cluster over here, and if we want to know what that is, we can actually instruct. We can instruct this system to tell us what it is and literally put it right on the screen for us. Hi, Taryn Marie. How are you? Welcome to SkyTour Livestream. Yeah, this is really pretty. Vera likes it, Daryl.
I see that.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see if we can actually squeeze out a little more detail here. Come in here and let me see what it thinks it wants to do with it. Okay. And let's see if it needs to color correct out some of the green. Okay. It kind of does that, and this is a fairly extensive diffuse nebula over here, but I would actually try to take out just a little bit of that red. I'm going to do that over here so we can actually see it just a little better. Okay, maybe this much. Hello there, Petita. PG is here. You might have been here before and I might have missed you. I'm sorry. Alright. So we've got 15 stacked here. And it looks like the winds, or at least for now, have calmed down enough so we can keep going. I'm going to check the focus here real quick. I'm going to zoom in, go to 100%. We may have to fix it, 'cause I don't think I turned on the focus following. Yeah, just a little bit soft, but it's okay actually. It's okay actually. So considering that that's true, I can always go grab this now and go into here. What's the temperature out there in the building right now? Temperature is 51.8, and we're going to enable this focus following, the temperature focus following, and that's good. And so now it's actually going to do that. I apparently did miss you. I'm sorry. I didn't see you before. My apologies, Petita. She says, Mark, you missed me. I always try to say hi to everybody that comes in. You should have seen me on the lunar eclipse. We had 5,000 people watching. Phew, was I tired. And that's just saying hi. I didn't get to say hi to everybody for that. Okay, so we're at 18 stack now. We'll go to 23 to get a similar amount. And then we'll save this as well. But what we'll do, I can actually name this. We'll call it M78 East. Right, and what this does is that title up there puts a directory out on the server. The previous image is just going to be with a date. It's not going to, a date and time. It's not going to, a time. It's not going to show you a name. This one will. All right.
Izabela may have named the first one Boogie Man.
What do you mean?
Oh, when she posted the first image of M78 on your server. Here in chat, she called it the Boogie Man. So
okay.
I don't know if she called it in the server or not, but she might have.
Oh, okay. Kathy Prenasek, hi. She says, it's been a while. YouTube doesn't notify me till 24 hours after. You know, when you go in and click the bell, there's a drop down in there. And you can click some additional settings to actually get your notifications. I was trying to investigate that, but it's true. Hey, Donald Kunzer, how are you? keep in mind, Kathy, also, I came up with this stream at like 10 after 9, and we were streaming at 9:30. So it's not like, you had a whole lot of notice, But you can click in the bell. It's actually a drop down, and then I can't remember what the additional selections are on there, but there are some. You sure that's the Dark Nebula there, Daryl? Let me get rid of the name. Everybody knows the name now. Come here, you.
I would have to go back and look at that video again.
Okay, but it's pretty.
It was just to the left of M78, and it was overlying Barnard's Loop, if I remember right.
Okay. All right. Well, this is 24 stacked, one more than we had before, so what I'm going to do is not take chances. I'm going to pause it. All right, cool, we're safe. I'm going to save it now, and you'll see the astronomical FITS format is there now, saved to the server. We'll be there soon, and I'll save this exactly as seen. That FITS format, it doesn't mean you can't look at it, even though it's an astronomical format that's pretty specialized. You can download free viewers to actually look at it if you so want to. But you'll notice that it doesn't look like the saved image here. This is processed. The FITS format is raw. You need to do the processing on the FITS file. But I offer it anyway in case people want to do that. Okay. So we did this.
Izabela said, let's go more left to find the Dark Nebula, eh?
If it's... Alright, well, we can try.
If you like.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this then. I saved it. And... So then I'm going to have to say, instead of M78 East, I'm going to have to say M78 East. East more. Alright, so let's come back in. Go to our 1 second. Go to the hybrid view. Looks like the internet's actually getting a little better now for us out there too. Okay. All right, and now let's go as you suggest, Izabela. We're going to go just a little bit more east, which I think is fine. All right, let's try it. We're still getting wind, as you can see. All right, let's try this.
Yes, go farther east.
Okay.
I'm looking at the image now that I was referring to.
Okay.
Yeah, put Barnard's Loop all the way over on the right.
Okay. So I'll put that little cluster all the way over to the right.
That was pretty neat looking, actually.
Okay, so here we go. All right. So now we have to just look at, there's actually a pretty bright nebula right there. Something right there, it looks like. It might not be real, it might just be an artifact of the video right now. We'll find out. Okay, we're gonna go to 24 seconds. 25 seconds.
I think you'll know it when you see it.
Oh yeah, I bet.
It's quite dark. It looks really cool.
All right. Well, we'll find out. Kathy Pernisic says the aurora was splendid last night. You saw an aurora. Fantastic. Okay.
I went by there for a minute. I assume she means over at Bill's. He's been watching auroras up in Churchill, Manitoba a lot, and they really big.
Okay.
On his Trovo page.
Okay, gotcha.
Been really getting some great aurora views up there.
Yeah, I'm a member of the Auroral Network, so I was thinking of doing that at some point, but I like showing actual live content. Ooh, what do we got here? I like showing live content too. Well, do you see a dark nebula in here? Where is it relative to this cluster?
Give me just a moment.
We have a wind issue right now, so I'm gonna clear and do this again. All right. And just because we clear while this exposure is being done, it doesn't mean that we're losing anything, because it's being stored on the chip, on the sensor, and it gets read off the sensor, and the brunt of that, the full view will be there. Okay, still got a little bit of wind here. We're hunting down Daryl's dark dust.
Actually, I think you need to go up a little bit. Put that cluster...
Bottom right?
Yeah, toward the bottom right.
Okay. This is not working out anyway. It's got some wind going on. So let's go to 1 second here. And let's go get rid of the stack. JSCO, how you doing? It's nice to see you have come and hung out with us. Always enjoy your company. Okay, so let's do this now. Alright, so we're gonna take that cluster and put it down near the bottom, right? Let's say these 3 stars and put them down about here. Is that right?
I don't see the cluster now.
No, I know, because...
Zoom.
Yeah. The cluster is actually behind this here. So when it comes out, you'll see it. See it?
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is bring the telescope up a little bit. Hey, weird guy, how you doing? A good drill for the Mesher Marathon. Yeah, maybe.
Actually, tonight was one of the prime nights of the Messier Marathon.
Oh.
Forgot about it.
Yeah. Had I known. Okay. So you think this is a good enough height? Would that cluster down the bottom like that?
You might jog it down just one more time.
All right.
There's another one.
Yeah. I know it looks like a squiggly line, but that's because the telescope's moving. You think that's good yet?
Yes.
All right. So, we'll find out. So we're going to come in and we'll set up the exposure to go 20 seconds. We still have to wait another 10 seconds or so for the telescope to acquire a guide star. And we'll do a 25-second shot. We do have wind, as you can see. But it'll be interesting to see if we can find a targeted object. Here we go. Let's get rid of this guy and bring up our stack, and maybe we'll have to clear it. Don't remember. I don't think so, though. Oh, maybe we do. Alright, let's clear the stack here. Alright. Now we'll see. We're looking for the DDDD, Daryl's Diffuse Dark Dust. Okay, and we've got wind destroying our image here. But would it be in here? Oh, is this it right here?
Let me compare one more time.
Okay. Or is it up here? Hey, Nia Smoke, how are you? Thanks for coming on out.
Should be a little higher than the cluster.
Okay. Should on a non-windy night we could do 1 minute exposures, and we could try it and see what we get. But you can see we already got a lot of wind pushing us. It happens to be a little windy out there. This is why it was sort of a borderline night for me, but I figured, you know what? Why not? It's not high enough that it would hurt the telescope. So let's clear this. Alright, and we're going to do a 1 minute exposure. Alright, so it may be a really bad image, but we're going to try it anyway. 60 seconds. Here we go. And then clear the stack one more time. It's underway. Okay, so our target is a dark nebula in Barnard's loop. It may or may not show up, but we'll find out.
Can we go to Stellarium for a moment?
Yes, just a minute. Okay. Just a minute here. Alright, so this is where we're going. This is what we're looking for. And now we'll go to Stellarium. We've only got 7 seconds before we'll see. But let's find out. So we just jump over here. Oh yeah, see, that didn't really work too well. But we'll find out. Telescope is up here right now.
And where's that cluster at?
Well, the cluster, I wish that this was a little better. That's telling us that's where the telescope is, but I think the telescope might not be exactly where we think it is. It's down the lower right there, though.
Yeah.
Is this the dark nebula here? Actually, I know this looks crappy right now, guys, but again, we're looking at wind and we're trying to find something in particular. Let me actually enhance the sky darkness here a little. And let me try this. Okay. And let's color correct if we have to. I don't know that we have to. Alright, so now we come in here and I mean, that looks like a dark nebula right there.
It's higher up than that.
Okay, well, it's another one. Okay.
I'm trying to get my bearings here.
That little cluster. Okay, and to the right of it is M78. There's a little dark nebula right here, too. I know, weird guy, that's true. No, I would love to show you the that nebula, but we do not have the bubble nebula available right now.
I'm sorry. I don't think it's going to work.
We need more time with the wind, right? But we have wind and we can't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do see a developing dark nebula right here. Look at that. See that? It's developing there. There's something coming out.
Yes.
As time goes on, guys, as we stack, as I said, the dark data is just as valid as the bright data. And the noise that's not data gets averaged out. So dark nebulae become more pronounced. Images of the nebulae themselves, the bright nebula, become more pronounced. Everything becomes more pronounced as we stack more and more and more. And they become differentiated against the noise that is present in every photographic system on the planet. So what we're doing is we are taking a longer exposure than we should, because we do have wind out there. But the idea is to see if we can capture something, and we do see something here. There's a dark nebula there of some kind. It's interesting. Yeah, somewhere deep in the dark there, Izabela says, I'm sure there's at least one dark nebula. Oh, you're absolutely true. You're absolutely right. So it's really
I wish I could share this image with you.
Why can't you?
Well, it's a video.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Well, as I said, there'll be a point where we can do that. I wish I could actually just clear this and say, maybe you can just, maybe you can just go ahead and give me one good shot without motion from the wind. And we'll see. It's all right. We're doing, this is what happens, right? In astronomy, what we do typically is we'll take thousands and thousands and thousands of seconds of imagery, and then we will take that and whittle it down to just a few minutes of data that then becomes stacked to find our final data. We're shortcutting a lot of that. We're not doing this the way I would do it if it was a professional observatory. In a professional world, we take into account all kinds of additional elements. Okay, we take into account the sky brightness, we take into account the elevation off the horizon, we take into account the conditions, and from that we can actually do an awful lot of additional processing. Mike's telescope says, hey, SharpCap just came out with a new version that removes satellite trails. Have you tried it yet? I haven't tried it, but I am using the latest version right now. So one thing I want to try while we're here is I'm going to go into Tools and see with the wind if I can actually do this. I want to see if I can get a deep sky image annotation. And so it's going to do that. Alright, so I'm going to plate solve it and see what happens. So it's trying to solve this frame and figure out where it is in the sky. It may or may not be able to do it depending on the blur, the motion blur of the stars from the wind. But if it does, it will probably name some of the stars in the field. And it'll be cool if it does. Let's get rid of this. We don't need the title, so come here, you. Alright. This is a very interesting feature. And I'm looking. Mike's telescope, where is that feature? I didn't see it. But you reminded me to try this.
I posted a link. I'm going to post a link again at the proper time.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to take away from Marc's stream, folks. Marc, if you'd want to try to post that.
I will. Hold on. We got it working here. Let's find out what it found. Okay. It actually, it succeeded. And what it does is it names everything in the field of view. Right, see this open cluster here is NGC 2112, it looks like. Magnitude 9.1 cluster. That's a brightness. The bigger the number, the fainter it is. Vega is 0 magnitude, for instance. Oh, look at that. And then it continued to name one of the bright stars. Remember I mentioned it was going to probably name a star or two, and it did. It named this Hipparchus Catalogue star. It's also known as 60 Orionis. It's a magnitude 5.71 star. Isn't this just cool? I mean, this is a really neat feature of this live astronomy. We're doing this live. And this is just a live image that you're watching build, and you're watching this happen right here. I think that's pretty cool. Let me move this out of the way. Let's see where our live stack is. Because one thing I'm not sure of is the stack. Yeah, see, the stack's still building as we're doing this. The whole time it's still been building. So it doesn't get in the way. That's really cool. And it lists it's NGC 2112. It's 60 Orion. I mean, we give stars names. We also give them catalog names. The ID is HIP 28296. HIP is what's called the Hipparchus Catalogue, named for the Hipparchus satellite, which did studies and looked at the night sky and cataloged thousands and tens of thousands of stars. And another name for it is 60 Orionis. Within the boundaries of Orion, it's star number 60 as in this count. And NGC 2112 is actually an open cluster, magnitude 9.1. The star is magnitude 5.21, which you see right there. So this is really cool. And what we can do is save this guy, all right? And if we hit save, we're going to actually save. I can actually do better than that. I can do this. Watch. On this dialog, I can say save the image with annotation. So everything you see on the screen will be saved. Okay. So, and there it is. And it's saved in that directory with the annotations, with everything written on it. So that's a brand new feature that we've added. And I think it's just beautiful. And that'll be up there in that directory as well for you to see. And as I mentioned earlier, when we had the wind coming in, the stars don't want to be diagonal, okay? So good data overlays bad, and it averages out. So the stars are looking more point source-like, although they still are dragged out a little bit. But hey, we tried. This didn't work out too well for us. But we did get to see some cool stuff, and look at this. There's a beautiful dark nebula right here. You can see patches of dark nebula all throughout this. Very, very cool.
Would you be breaking the rules if you posted that YouTube link for a moment?
Why would I break any rules?
I don't know.
Well, I can actually, do better than that, I think. Okay. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Uh-oh. I just screwed something up.
It's all my fault.
Yes, it's all your fault there, Daryl.
Izabela likes it. She says the planetary nebula. She sees something.
Really?
I think what I was talking about in that video, I think the image scale is a little different. Yours is maybe a little closer view.
Okay.
It's sort of to the upper left of that star cluster. And I think it may just be right out of the field of view on your scope.
You mean to the far left?
A little farther left and a little farther up.
Oh, okay. So maybe we still could find it then.
Would you want to cheat and look at that YouTube frame?
Yeah, I tried to, and it messed up my broadcast screen.
Oh.
So, see, that's all your fault.
That's all my fault.
Right, no worries. Well, let me do this. Let me see if I can get my broadcast screen back first, and then I will do that.
Oh, I see it. I'm looking at the YouTube, and
okay.
It shows it there. Or
the
no,
YouTube...
excuse me. Sorry, no, I was looking at the wrong thing.
Okay. Alright, that's not right. Okay, let's do this. And... oh, maybe like this? Hold on, let me just do something here. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Okay, now I have to come back in here, go into my things here, and do this, and say apply. No, I didn't get my chat back. Alright, don't know why. Okay, anyway, I will just move on. So the question then becomes, do we want to hunt for this anymore, or are we done hunting for this and ruining my screen?
You'll miss me when I'm gone.
I have no idea what that has to do with anything. I'm trying to figure out where my chat went, but that's okay. I got it up again, but it's a different way of looking at it. Alright, let's try this. Alright, this I guess is going to have to work for me. Maybe that'll work. We'll find out. Anyway, so there. So, what would you like to do here? Should we... I'm going to save this anyway, even though it's really not that good. It is 10 stacked shots. And it's going to be not M78 east, but northeast. Okay. Alright, now I will save it. No. And then save it. And we'll go into that new directory. And then I'll save it exactly as seen. Oh, like I said, it's not that good. We had wind in here that was causing problems. So you're saying it's out of the frame?
I believe it's out of the frame.
Okay. I mean, we're 4 full moons across here. In size, 4 full moons by 3. That's how big we are, guys. But if you don't, go ahead.
Were you able to see that YouTube frame?
No, I still haven't been able to see it because I don't have the other screen back yet. I'm working around it. But maybe by coming here, I could do that. I think that's what you were looking at, right? Look, they screwed it up again. Okay. I don't know. I messed up my frame again here. Alright, let's see what's going on.
Can't open it in a new tab or a new window?
I was trying, and it did not work. Let me try this. Bring it back. Pardon me, guys. I know you can't see what's going on right now, and I'm sorry about that. Let me Let me go back and grab his link that he did. I guess this is the link, right? Let's say open link in a new window. Yeah, no, it's not a valid link. Actually, it says that something went wrong. So this link is incorrect, Daryl. Sorry. At least when I try to do it, it's not working.
Well, what if? I mean, I just copied video URL at current time straight off YouTube.
Okay, I don't know.
What if? Let's see.
All right, first. Well,
I'll just copy the URL, and if you can go to 1102.
All right.
Okay, I just placed the link again.
Okay.
Yeah. Stop if you get it to open. Stop the video. And then just jump over to 1102.
All right. So here's what we're going to do, folks. If I get this to work, we're going to bring in. I'll bring it up so we can see it. Yep, it said didn't work. See, the link you actually gave me, the direct link you just gave me, just did not work.
Hmm.
All right.
Oh well.
We will figure this out sooner or later. All right.
Well, let's move on. I'm
to.
sorry. Thank
No, it's
you for
okay.
indulging me.
No, don't worry. Yes, a weird guy. It was the Russian hackers. Okay, so let's go into our planetarium here and see what else we can look at. Right now, if I back out, you'll notice that Orion is well past the southern meridian, and we're looking at Orion actually starting to come toward setting, which is kind of interesting.
Yep. Rigel's touching the western horizon at midnight now here.
Yeah. Yeah, and out there it's only 9:06. What we can do is I want to go. We'll just check out this here for a minute. Okay. Let's go to the Rosette for a little bit, because that's going to be a springboard to some of the other things I want to check out too. Izabela says, this means winter's over. Yeah, I think you're right.
Just about. Spring starts in 15 days.
Yep. Alright, so we're doing high precision slewing. We're going to take a star, bright star, probably this one, Alzir, and center it up. And from there, we're going to bring in the Rosette Nebula. Okay. Oh, Kathy says the during the Aurora shots, the Orion was in several of the shots. That's wonderful. Here is the Rosette. You can see it here. Right here. And what we're going to do is bring the telescope over now, move to the east, which means we're going to move the telescope to the left a little. And as we do that, you'll see that bright hot cluster in the center of the Rosette is going to be brought to the center of our screen, and it'll be a little bit low, so we're going to have to go bring the telescope down now to point more directly at it, which will also there we go. That puts us just a bit too high. We'll be able to do this in real time when we have the Starlink router issue solved. And that would have already been happening. That should have already happened. So, but we'll do it. Okay, so here we go. All right, so this is the beautiful Rosette Nebula. In a small telescope, you'll see this cluster. Maybe a hint of some nebulous detail, probably over on the right side, maybe a little bit on the left. But let's see what happens when we actually take a longer shot. Okay, so let's go and do a... let's do 25 seconds. Again, we're fighting wind tonight, guys. Alright, so 25 seconds. Do a stack. And we're going to clear this out of the way. Okay. Doesn't look like much, does it? That'll change. So what we do now is we actually do just a quick, what's called a stretch. It's an automatic procedure that I do, and there it is. Look at that. And then we will color balance to help get a little bit better color rendering here. But look at that beautiful nebula. Isn't that gorgeous?
Nice. It is.
Now, these stars in the center, a young hot cluster, and we've talked about this many times. When a young hot cluster forms in the middle of a nebula, what does it do? It has a beautiful outward flowing radiative energy, right? We know that because they're hot and they're young. Well, what we also see is that they have their own stellar wind, and their stellar winds are extremely powerful, and they actually blow away a lot of the dust in the middle of the nebula where the star is formed and some of the gas. So that's why when we look at young clusters in the nebula, many times they have cleared an area around them. All right, we call it a cavity that was cleared around the star cluster. It's almost like a no-fly zone. You can't go in there with these young hot stars because it's so hot in there and so energetic with high frequency, that is blue ultraviolet radiation, okay, that you would not survive in there. Okay, that's a very fast way to the end zone of life, let's say. So that said, these stars are hot and young, but way out here, all right, in these regions beyond where the ultraviolet can ionize hydrogen, which requires a lot of energy, you might find some outlying stars where this process of stellar development might lead to some of these dark nebula forming other stars, but also planets. Now, you could get planets inside this nebula, no doubt. And maybe there are some forming inside some of these tendrils in here, but we won't know it yet. James Webb might shed some light on that for us. I'm going to just do a quick examination of the focus here and see. It's hard to tell what the focus looks like because, we have wind issues, right? Let's see what we get. That doesn't look bad. I mean, we have a little dragged out stellar images from the wind, but that's about it. So this is really something, though. If you look at how this nebula central region is formed and looks, got a lot going on in there. Let's go to say 40%. Yeah. And while I'm here, I'll try this for the first time. I'll actually try to
Izabela wonders if that's a meteor down at lower left, or is it a satellite?
Let's find out.
See it right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's wait to see the next image, and if the image shows something, I see another fainter one here that can actually be part of the same thing. If it's a meteor, then it won't be present possibly. If it's a satellite, it may be present moving this way. Let's look.
Satellite was my first thought.
Yeah.
Mark, excuse me a moment, please.
Alrighty.
Be right back.
Okay. Hard to tell, but good catch, Izabela. Not as much red tonight. Well, that's actually a matter of processing. And if I come in here right now and I do a color correction to see where it thinks it wants to be, this is where it goes. But in reality, it should be more up this way. So if I bring this up a little bit more, okay, you'll see that this is more what it ought to be right here. Weird guy. Not saying aliens, but yeah, see that. But because we got that little shifting, because the telescope is blowing around, our images don't quite look pinpoint tonight, you know. But we know that they can, and we know that they often do. But it's really pretty, and these dark tendrils are the places where, as I said, planet makers and star makers. That's where it starts, inside here. You know. And these stars pushing stuff out actually form like a little bow shock, you know, that pushes outward, and that compresses stuff or just tips the balance one way or the other toward compressing a cloud and making something happen. So it's pretty cool. You know, that is to say, making something, being star formation or planetary formation, happen. Very cool. So let's go out all the way and see what it looks like. Okay. Yeah, so it's there's two things going on today. Number one, we're suffering from an internet speed loss out there. We're not using Starlink at the moment. That's, like I said, that will be here sooner than later. I mean, we have Starlink up out there now, and it's working for the compound out there. But the Starlink to the observatory requires a wired connection, and we bought the unit to give us the wired connection, and we're waiting for that to arrive. As soon as it arrives, we're going to plug it in, and we are going to have, I'm probably going to be spoiled. I'm going to be streaming every single night. I know I am. I know I will. It's going to be close to real time. Just amazing. Wow. If you think about it, right now, we're actually going out to geostationary satellites to get our internet, because that's where that's located, these satellites. So the time it takes to get out there and back, that induces a delay when we click and when we actually see the response. But Starlink satellites are just a couple hundred miles up. They're not 22,000 miles out. So the response, the latency as we call it, is going to be next to nothing. So I click and you're going to see it. It's going to be that fast. So I'm going to be spoiled by that, I can tell you that. And there's a problem, I should say, with this. There's going to be an issue that I see, and that is that we don't have 100% coverage right now. We're going to have 99.2%. So about 15 minutes or so won't be accounted for, but it's only in a few seconds here, a few seconds there. Right? It's not like it's 15 minutes. Oh, it's gone down. We won't see for 15 minutes. At the most, it may be down like 6 seconds, you know, maybe 10 seconds. And so we'll see a delay. And that's going to happen through the course of an entire 24-hour period. So maybe at night, when we're streaming, we may see none. Or maybe we'll see a couple points where it delays 3 seconds here, 5 seconds there, that kind of thing. And it's just the time for the overlapped satellites to actually come in and start have the overlight satellites actually come in and cover us. All right. Now, just to give you an idea of what that actually looks like, I wanted to show you the live map while this is streaming in. So here on the screen I'm showing you now, here is the live coverage map for Starlink right now. All right, there we go. That's the planet, and every dot is a Starlink satellite. Those are all in motion. And if we zoom in, all right, and we go to Arizona, you'll notice that I have a spot, all right, selected here. That number indicates the observatory in Arizona, and you'll see the red line indicating we have a connection to a particular Starlink satellite right now. All right, that it would be picking off. Actually, that it is picking off, because this is a live connected point, because we do have that. And if this one goes away, it'll pick up this next one. And you'll see that as we back out, all right, as we back out, okay, as we zoom in, okay, this corresponds to a elevation of like 35 degrees above the horizon. We zoom out, and now we're at a 25-degree elevation, all right? And so it shows you all of the satellites. There's currently 4 Starlink satellites. Is that 3 or 4? Yeah, 4. There's 4 Starlink satellites that we just had there for a moment, right? So, and now another one comes in. See, so that's the kind of coverage we'll have. So we'll have duplicate coverage all the way, and that's how it works. That's how it's gonna work. So we're gonna have plenty of coverage and plenty of instantaneous response. I'm really looking forward to this. The only thing I'm not looking forward to is having Starlink satellites going through our shots. But as Mike's telescope told us earlier, this thing here, there's the program that we use to capture the sky, okay, which is SharpCap, is actually able to remove satellite trails. I think that the satellite trails get removed anyway over time when you're stacking, because satellite trails are errant data on one frame only, maybe 2. So what that does is, when you actually add more data, you're filling in the space that had that errant line in it with what was supposed to be there, and over time that gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. Yes, Anahata Bani says, Mark, that site, you are showing us Starlink sats. Yes, those are the Starlink sats live right now as they are in the sky. So they show us where they are. And like, for instance, if I was to, just to give you an idea again, let's pop back to that for 1 second while we're still taking the Rosette. Okay.
What are the green circles with the orange
those are actually some ground stations.
Right, that's what I thought.
Yeah, and so the 3 indicates that at certain elevation angles that we pull out, we'll have 5 satellites at this elevation angle. Okay, but if we actually zoom in, all right, you can see that we have 1 directly right now. And what is it? That's this one. Okay. And we can calculate the next time it's going to come by. There's an awful lot you can do with this 1 satellite right now, and that just goes for every single satellite, So again, the number here, this round circle with the numbers, shows us how many satellites we currently have. And obviously, when we get down, as we zoom in closer, that's a narrower and narrower cone over our heads. So a narrow cone over our head shows us that we have actually one that's at 77 degrees, 76 degrees, 75 degrees. You can see the numbers changing on this. And if you go into the map and you zoom out, and then you see others, right? The elevation 50 degrees on this one, 45 degrees on that one, okay, but only 31 degrees on that one. See, So clearly, but you're watching now the live coverage. So and the thing is, they get handed off one satellite to the next, and that's going to be cool. That's going to work for us when we actually have Starlink up and running with our observatory. I'm telling you, this is basically the way of things. A live server with all our photographs that you'll get to see the photos live, and unlimited speed. For our purposes, we're going to have as fast as possible an internet connection out in the middle of nowhere in the desert. We have one now, but it's slow. It's slow as molasses. But, it works enough for us to do the streaming. I was concerned about it, doing what we call throughput measurements to see if I was going to have any problem with all the data. And I concluded that I might, but we'd be able to live with it. And I feel like we've been on the border the entire time. So we're going to be changing all that. So really cool. Okay, so this is the Rosette Nebula. We've stacked 35 of these. The images look kind of, soft here, but they'll be better on the server because we have an internet issue with us as well. And that's changing, like I said, as soon as I get that Ethernet adapter. Oh, man. I can't wait to host you guys again. So as soon as that arrives, it's going to get plugged in. It'll take 5 minutes to activate it. 5 minutes. We're also working on getting a new camera out in the building that's actually Wi-Fi, because it turns out that even though the building is a couple hundred feet away from the other buildings on the property, the Starlink Wi-Fi is really powerful. And there was full Wi-Fi inside the building just the other day. So, wow. Now, my computer out there needs to have the Wi-Fi turned on. It's not, so that's why it said no Wi-Fi available. But just think, that's very cool. Okay, I think I saved this, but I don't remember saving it now because I was talking. Because all I do is talk. And I know you hate I know you hate the Starlink satellites, Daryl, but necessary evil, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't hate Starlink.
Dislike.
I hate the people who put down all ground-based astronomy in favor of Starlink satellites. They haven't got a clue.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, as a result... Go ahead.
Well, I'm not just talking amateurs like you or me. Professional observatories, colleges, universities, institutions of higher learning, the professional programs they have going, they have many, many billions of dollars invested in ground-based astronomy.
Yes.
And people poo-poo it now. Screw that. I want my Starlink. I want my internet. Put them all on satellites, send them out into space. Build an observatory on the far side of the moon. I want my, it's like I want my MTV, That's the attitude that I hate.
I understand. I look at it as we have to adapt. And we have to try our best to continue what we do. And it actually gives us a better ability to do what we do, which I think is pretty cool. But it's not the best solution. But the best solution would be able to have a satellite that has absolutely no reflectivity up there. and that is impossible right now. They did actually try to reduce the brightness of the Starlink satellites, and it does work, but not enough. They're still very visible because you got a bright star reflecting light on them. Can't do much with that. Oh, we go to Sirius here? I think we went to Sirius. I think that's Sirius right there. Brightest star in the sky. Am I right? Let's go look. Hey. Hey, look at it. It's Sirius. I'm serious. Okay. Now, Genghis asked for this a long time ago, right at the very beginning. He was talking about the Seagull Nebula. So we're going to the Seagull Nebula. Check it out. So we're auto-centering Sirius, and then we're going to go zipping off to the Seagull Nebula. And there's our zipping off mode. Hey, Skytour livestream. I know about that. Come here, you. There we go. There's the head of the Seagull. And a satellite had just gone through. Did you see that? Another one up there. Wow. Well, let's actually bring that over a little more. Okay. Well, thank you guys for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. It's really kind of nice out here. Weird Guy says Starlink is doing humanitarian things right now, so there's that. And you're right. You're absolutely right. I think that Starlink is actually keeping us connected to Ukraine.
Yep.
Yep. Rene Cruz says a Chinese rocket slammed into the moon. That's true. It was an old rocket booster, potentially a decade ago, that it was actually launched, and it ended up hitting the moon finally. Now keep in mind, it's a good thing that we can calculate when things like that's going to happen, right? It'd be a big surprise if it's like, hey, what was that? They just hit the moon. Well, we knew it was coming. Oh, Mike's telescope is asking, what program are you using that slews to a star first that does the high precision slewing, right? Instead of using the mounts Orion deck, right ascension and declination to just go directly to the object. Mike, I assume your name's Mike. First name Mike, last name Telescope. Mike, I have the telescope set right now to actually do high precision slewing, and so it's actually built into the telescope to actually do this this preliminary object find and then a star hop to the object of interest. The high precision slewing takes longer. I can set it to go directly to the object, but sometimes, as we've discovered, the object coordinates are not correct, and we have to do corrections. And now that we can plate solve and even do this stuff like we're doing here before, where we're actually, literally superimposing annotations on what the objects are, that really gives us a great advantage. But I like doing the high precision slewing because it actually helps center the object much better, So, this is the Seagull Nebula. Let's do I'd love to go 1 minute, but it won't support it right now with the wind. Let's say 25 seconds. And let's get off of the hyper shot. Go into a live stack mode. And I think we're clear. So we are clear. Okay, good. So this is the Seagull Nebula. And the Seagull Nebula is a beautiful emission nebula with dark nebula. There we go. The emission is the red part. That's hydrogen gas glowing. And there's dark nebula in here too, which is the dark little tendrils you see, which look like they're sort of by the seagulls, or defining the seagull's beak here. That might be the eye, for instance. And the seagull's head is turned. It might look like roadkill, actually. It looks like the It flattened out. That's kind of what it looks like to me. All right, and let me do this. What?
Nothing.
Well,
Spoken like a true artist, Mark.
Oh. That? Yeah, well. Okay, see, the wind is causing these issues here. You know, there's really no guide system that can handle gusts of wind like that. Because before it can react, it's already happened. Okay. Let's see if we can make this a little bit nicer looking. First, let's do a color correction and see if that helps. Okay, that looks nice. And now let's do a little stretch. There we go. That's kind of where I was going to go with it. A little more, though. I'm going to actually pull out of the shadows. I'm going to pull some of the nebula out more. There we go. And when that clears up, that's going to be okay. Hi, Starseed. Thanks for coming. That weird guy, the Duck Hunt Nebula. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, it's birdie shaped. Yeah, these are the wings right here, you know, up and down. This is the head right here. And it's a seagull, so don't let it do anything on your head. And since I know it works, let's try this now. We're going to do an annotation. This is the old annotation. I'm going to do the new one. That's one thing. It's good at doing it, but it also uses the old one before it gets the new one in place. So we'll see. It should circle this. It should give you this as a separate object. So we'll find out.
Your old display things are still up there.
Yeah, I just said that. That's what I was saying. It's not quite. It's a great annotation system, but you can't clear it and start over. At least I haven't found the way. I bet you there is. But I haven't figured that out yet. Okay. All right, Seagull Nebula. Still trying to plate solve. It's actually quite a leap, Daryl, for this to actually plate solve without rooting the stack. I know that sounds kind of silly, but it does actually have meaning, because usually when you go to do anything like this that requires this bottom line here to get involved, it overrides it. But here, this is still plate solving while still stacking. That's new. You know what I mean? There we go. And there's the new view. So it identified these clusters. It identifies this reflection nebula here. This is IC 2177, which is what Genghis was saying before. And you also have the NGC clusters of stars that it found as well.
So is this information imprinted on the file, on your live stack or whatever?
No, it's actually, if I say save image with annotations, it saves that image in the directory of the Seagull Nebula, as you'll see. There it goes. But the stack is clean, which I think is pretty cool. All right, Mike, thanks for coming. Abel 33, yeah. Nino. Okay, so how many have we stacked here? We got 14 stacked so far. And we're going on 15. I think 15 is good. We'll go one more since we're only doing 25 seconds. How come Renee Cruz is having her messages blocked? I keep saying show them. She doesn't say things that are bad. She should just be allowed in to say anything she wants.
I was wondering that myself.
Yeah, I don't know why that happens to you, Renee. We're not doing anything against you. We think you're great. I don't know if Genghis is still here, but, you know, I did the seagull for him. But we do have wind, as you can see. There's a wind perturbation to our data, which is not good. But at least we're getting to see something cool. If we zoom in on this now, let's go to 100%. You'll see the stars are, okay, 150%, 100%. See how they're stretched? That's the wind blowing the tube around in there. That tube is like it's like a sail. It's getting caught and stuff's moving it around. We have a north, south, or east, or south north wind in there that comes in and grabs the telescope. What's that, Daryl?
Looks like you have 11 knot winds going on south of Wickenburg.
Yep, I can believe it. I can believe it. We close up at 12 to 13, so we're at the border right now. But folks, galaxy season is almost upon us, so we'll be able to view a lot of these amazing and spectacular galaxies out there pretty soon, and those are going to be really pretty. Especially when we look at clusters of galaxies in Virgo and in Leo. Coma Berenices. Those are going to be beautiful, Daryl.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Okay. Well, look, you know what? Tonight, guys, I can tell you that we're pretty much at the end of our rope here with this. The sky is not that... the sky is great, but the wind is actually still kicking up, and that kind of makes all of our images look a little bit like they used to look, which wasn't very good. And now, so I'm not happy with this at all. But I'm okay to do it because you never know what we might catch. You know, like Izabela might have seen a meteor. We're going to analyze that frame and that stack and see if there's a meteor there. That'd be cool. Those are neat to catch. And keep in mind our field is 4 full moons across, like 2 degrees. And it's 3 full moons tall, 1.5 degrees. The moon's a half a degree in size, just about 30 minutes of arc. All right, and there's 60 arc minutes in a degree, so 30 minutes is half a degree. So with 4, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, makes 2 degrees, and 1, 2, 3 makes 3 degrees. Makes 1.5 degrees. So that's the size of our field here. So this is a big field. You know, and we implemented this with the telescope. We actually added an amazing addition to the telescope to actually speed it up by 25 times and make it something that captures the most beautiful nebulae. Renee asks, can you see as far as the Hubble telescope can see, or that other telescope that just recently burned out? Not sure what she means by that, but I will tell you this. We have a limitation to what we can see based on the diameter of our telescope. Our diameter of our telescope is 10 inches, and the telescope has an additional setup on it that allows it to see wide field. So it goes from a photographic speed of f8, that's the focal ratio, f8. It goes down to f2. All right, so f2 is a lot faster than f8 photographically. It's like opening up the opening of the lens bigger and bigger and bigger until you get as much light in as you can possibly get. And that's what we get on this telescope. It was an addition that we agreed to do. Literally, that decision came, I made that decision in Starizona, down in Tucson, Arizona. Starizona fixed our telescope when it went haywire when we first installed it. I drove it all the way to Tucson, 3 hours away from where it was in the desert. And it ended up being fixed in a couple of weeks and reinstalled it. But before I left, they were showing me some images that they took with this addition that they added, something called a Hyperstar. And they said, you know, we don't make the Hyperstar for your telescope, but we can. It'll be the only one on the planet with a Hyperstar that's made for your particular telescope. And I said, let's do it. So what you're seeing is these images that, you know, especially when they look fantastic, are the prototype Hyperstar images. There's no other telescope that has a Hyperstar like our telescope. We're the only one. So that's a really cool development, and we like partnering with Starizona and steer people to them every time. Starizona's in Tucson, Arizona, and they have all your telescope needs met, and they'll ship to you wherever you are in the country or the world. So consider them. I wish I could say they were sponsoring us, but they're not. They're actually a good company, though, and I can't sit back and say they're not. They're a fantastic company. Starizona. Starizona. Where all fine telescopes are sold. Alright, in any case, let's see here. We are at 32 stacked. The images don't look all that hot, unfortunately. But that's okay. I'm going to save this, and this actually is going to go into yet another directory in the Seagull Nebula directory. Okay, and that's actually pretty cool. So there it is. It's saved, and we'll save exactly as seen, just to have a record. All right. Yeah, we're getting a internet slowdown out there a little bit too. Okay. Well, there we go. And with the wind speeds out there, I think that we're probably going to have to close up for tonight. It's only just over 2 hours and 15 minutes that we went tonight. But that was more than I thought we would go, actually. I was not sure we could open it all.
Let's try one more thing.
What?
Let's try one more thing.
What one more thing?
LDN 1622.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do it. See how easy it is to get me convinced to do something else? Okay. LDN. So from Lynn's catalog, 1622?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's only one. Okay, it's over by Betelgeuse. And it's north of our Casper, the Friendly Ghost Nebula. Alright, let's try it. Let's get rid of our... We gotta change our timing down here to 1 second again. From 25 seconds. Okay. And do our hyper shot. Here you go. And it looks like it's using Betelgeuse actually as the guide star, or as our precision slewing star. Okay. Look where the telescope's pointing though. You see how far west it's pointing? That's west, that's east, north is into the page, and south is toward us. Okay.
You're still halfway up in the sky.
Yeah. But there's the LDN number that Daryl wanted to see. I'm going to zoom in and check focus just to see. I mean, it was doing well all this time. There seems to be a reflection nebula here too.
This is Lynn's Dark Nebula, so.
LDN?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we'll try it. Focus is seemingly okay. But the wind actually disrupts not just the telescope, the wind also disrupts the objects. It makes it hard for the objects to actually be clear as well, because the sky is unsteady. But let's try it. This is supposedly where it is, right? I can't really tell where it is. It looks like it's probably here. I'm going to move over a little more.
I don't know. It's dark.
Alright, well this will be something to see. Okay, so right about there. I'm guessing that it's here. I think that's what we're looking at right there, but we'll find out. So we have to wait 11 seconds for the computer guider to actually acquire a star, and then we'll go say do 25 seconds on that and see what we get. So we should have our guide star now. So let's go out, go into a stack, and this is Daryl's Just One More Nebula. Let's find out what it looks like, Daryl. It better be good.
Famous last words.
Right? Oh yeah, look at that. There it is. Yeah, it's right there. See it? That's cool.
Can we try to live stack a few?
We are. We're already stacking.
Okay.
That actually came out pretty good. The wind wasn't affecting us too badly for that particular exposure. Oh, and I spoke too soon. Second one really went out of whack. Okay. We're going to clear it and do it again. That's right. Rene Cruz. My God, it's full of stars. 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Excuse me.
See, that's what they're supposed to look like. Look how cute. Look at that, how cute that is. It's beautifully focused right there. And without wind, this would just be a stunning image.
Yeah. Let's see if we can grab a few, and then you can try to punch it up a little bit.
Yeah, I will. Let's color correct this.
Now then.
Oh, what?
LDN 1622's one of its other names is the Boogie Man Nebula.
Oh, that's the Boogie Man. Okay.
That's what I was trying to catch earlier.
Okay.
And I bet that star cluster is just out of view down to the bottom right.
And this is Barnard's Loop down here. The Boogie Man. The satellite. Well, I'm going to try something here. I'm going to actually save this now while we have reasonably good guiding. And then save it exactly as seen. Alright. And then we'll... Oh, I saved it to Seagull Nebula. Ugh. Okay, I'll fix that. Alright. I do that all the time. Okay, LDN 1622. Alright, let's do this again here. Come on, what's going on? Alright, that's better. LDN 1622, yes. Looks like it's doing pretty good here. What? Why did it get rid of that? I typed 1622. You saw me. Why did it get rid of it? Oh, it's because of the delay. The delay in typing. It's just maddening. Okay. Yes, so now we're going to have two directories that I don't want. Okay. Now, while we still have some pretty good guiding, I'm going to save it again. And then save it exactly as seen. So we can actually capture something. We're going to be coming back to this on a night where there's not a lot of wind. We're going to come back to this. This is really pretty.
I see the main body there to the left of that star, the bright star with the halo around it. Then there's dark chunks going up from there to the upper left.
Yep. And there's some pieces here.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is only a 25-second exposure. Should I actually... I should, actually. I'm going to clear this after I pause it and save it. Okay, this is 10 frames stacked. So we're going to do this. We're going to pause, save, and then save exactly as seen. So we capture and preserve everything we've seen so far. Okay. Now we're going to clear, because we're going to come back and do this again. But now we're going to actually do a 1-minute exposure on this, because it was seemingly behaving. So let's try to get it to behave with exposure 4 times as long, just about. Like not 4 times as long, but twice as long, roughly. So here we go. We're gonna remove this. That's done, and we're doing it. And now we'll stack. All right, and come into the stack. Yeah, we'll just let this ride out for now and see what we get. There we go. All right, folks. We're 30 seconds away. Oh, Vera, thank you. That's very kind of you, Vera. Thank you so much. Isn't Vera wonderful?
She is. Thank you, Vera.
She's so kind and generous. I love it.
Vera Lucia.
Yeah.
Lucia or Lucia?
It's Lucia. I was corrected.
Lucia.
Okay, here's a 1 minute shot. Actually came out okay. Let's try to let's color correct this and even do something else. Let's now do a little process here. Ah, look at that.
Yeah. You can see that dark stuff coming up to the upper left now more too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really distinct blobs.
Yep. Yeah, 1 minute exposure is working okay on this right now. The wind is cut down a little bit. That's really pretty.
It is.
And this is the main part right here. You can see this additional brown cloud here. That's actually additional nebula. Dark dust. Hey, and that one worked well too. So we have 2 frames stacked, and this will only get clearer as long as we don't get any wind.
Mm-hmm. Boogie Man.
The Boogie Man.
I looked at some other examples of this, and the largest dark figure there, just a little bit above center, it really does have sort of a boogeyman kind of shape to it.
What's a boogeyman look like?
A scary.
Is it somebody doing this?
Monster kind of thing, I guess.
Like arms out with their fingers out, like I'm gonna get you.
When I was a little kid, the boogeyman. Do you remember the trees in the Wizard of Oz, the scary trees?
Oh yes, that would grab you. Yes.
Yep, those were the boogeyman to me when I was a little kid.
You know what? I think they're everybody's boogeyman. I hated those things.
Mm.
They made you hate forests. You never wanted to go into a forest again because you're afraid the trees were going to grab you and try to keep you. Wow, look at this really, really dark blotch right here. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
And there's more here. You notice it's becoming clearer and clearer, guys.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is, let's go into 50%, 75%. And then we will move over a little bit. Little reflection nebula here, see that?
Uh-huh.
Again, dark dust that's actually being illuminated by those stars. All right. 75% is too much. Let's go down to... Let's go down to...
When I was a little kid,
40%.
Our mom would send our dad to the store, to the grocery, and we'd ride along with him sometimes. And there were some real gnarly looking old trees on the road along the way. And
really?
They looked just like those trees on The Wizard of Oz. And
wow.
I would close my eyes whenever we drove by those trees.
I can understand that. Thank you, C&D boy. Wow. This is a winner of an object, Daryl. I'm glad that you talked me into it. I almost said no.
Yeah, I had to kind of trick you to do it. I had to go find the thing's real name, and
no, I mean that would have been fine because if I looked up Boogeyman, I wouldn't have found it. If you said you want to try and find the Boogeyman, I'd say okay, let's do it. But as long as you actually knew the actual name of it, then that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great. I would have done it. Here, let's try and bring this out a little bit more. And it's because I marked just one more D'Antonio. You know it. You know, it's like, you know you want to go to another one. You know you want to.
Mm-hmm.
You know you want to. Just one more. You know you want to. All right, so that's a little bit darker right there. Tara and Maria, I'm glad you're having a good time here tonight. I hope you, come back as well and hang out with us again. You're always welcome, and I hope you subscribed, because we definitely want to grow. We want to make sure that we have thousands of listeners at some point and viewers. I mean, we want that. I'm just trying to grow the channel as best I can, and I'm an astronomer. I'm not a social media guru, so I don't have the best way to do that. If there are social media gurus out there, why don't you consider helping us out? Figure this out for us. Figure out how to help us leverage social media to get where we need to go. We have we just went over 5,500 viewers, subscribers, I should say. I'd like to do more, because obviously that leads to getting some funding so we can actually put up new observatories. Look at that. So we've actually stacked. We have some wind affecting these now. See that? But it's not that bad. Let's see about. We have 7 stacked right here.
I think this is great.
It is pretty, but it's got some vertical travel. It's wind affected this a little bit.
Yeah, well, maybe it'll inspire you to come back on another night.
Yeah.
If I were you, I'd try to crank that red way up if you process this image.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what the color correction wants to do. Color correction doesn't know. So what do I want to do? So you're saying, because you've seen this before, you know what it looks like. So this is kind of like a cranked up red view.
When I went looking for this, the red was turned up a whole lot more than this.
Okay.
I think
it was high contrast.
Contrast may have been greater too, because the darks are darker and the reds were redder, and the big shape there to the left of the bright star really did have sort of a boogeyman kind of a humanoid shape to it.
All right. I will figure that out.
I think this is great though.
Yeah, this is pretty good for what for what it is right now. Let me try to just push this a little. Pull out some more detail in the boogeyman. Now we stacked 9, and you can see there's some faint wispy structure available in here now. So this is coming out. This is really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And you got that reflection nebula around that star
right
at
there.
The lower right?
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of exposed Hubble's Variable Nebula.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, well, we're gonna go to 10 exposures, and then we're gonna stop that here.
Okay.
Because we got enough of those, but we need to actually get a windless night, and then come back to this. Now,
Very good.
Don't forget about this now.
Oh. Thank you for indulging me.
Yeah, it's okay. All right, so we saved it, and now we're going to save it exactly as seen. I'll go out to the directory structure and fix where I might have messed up some of the naming. But this is just a really beautiful nebula. There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
Yeah, still, I sent you that Astro Backyard link on Skype.
Yeah.
If you go open that and then go to the 1102 mark, and you'll see his image of this. It's very striking.
Okay. Well, we'll come back and we'll do it.
Oh. Okay.
All right.
Well, thanks. That was cool.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, you know what? We were getting some wind, and so it's going to kind of shortcut our night a little bit. I hate to say it, but it is. But I'll be back. If it's clear, what's tonight? Saturday. Tomorrow's Sunday. We have the radio show tomorrow, and I'm thinking maybe we're gonna. Right now, I'm thinking of doing the show, Daryl, and it's gonna stream to our channel again here, as well as on Facebook. So we're gonna be streaming to multiple places again with our show. We're gonna be bringing it. It'll be on KGRA. It'll be out over the airwaves. It'll be live on the KGRA DB site. It'll be live on Facebook, live on SkyTour Livestream. And that'll be cool. Hopefully, I can do some writing between now and then. There's a few basic things I want to do if I can. But I'll let you know for sure, all right? Tomorrow.
Okay.
Because, of course, you're one of the co-hosts, along with Tara Diulis, who is in Hawaii and not available. So, she not being available might be a good skip week for us, actually. But I'll make that call tomorrow.
Okie dokie. Hopefully we can rustle up Amanda.
Yeah. Yeah, Amanda unfortunately couldn't come last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the wind is killing us out there. Okay.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me on tonight, Mark, and thanks for coming, everybody. Hope you had a good time.
I'm hoping they did. You guys are awesome out there. All right, well, we'll be back the next clear night, and if that's tomorrow night, whether we do a radio show or not, I'll probably still want to do that. I still want to come back. So we'll see. I want to capture this nebula again because Daryl said so. No, I think it's a neat nebula. It's not often you get a really cool sight like this. Really cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Okay, well, have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night. And we will see you. I'll see you, tomorrow at the soonest, right? All right, guys. Good night, all. And thanks for coming. Okay. That's just great. Good night, guys.